are the 10 daily habits I'm going to do all year to avoid burnout, to be happier, healthier, more creative. My name is Carla. If you're new here, if this is your first video, thank you so much for stopping by. If you've been here a while, thanks again for watching, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm a mom to a 14-month-old little girl. Last year was my first full year as a mom, and I learned so much. I'm a mostly stay-at-home mom. I own a clothing line. You can see some of it behind me, and I make plus size and size inclusive dresses, sizes extra small all the way up to 5X. And I do that during nap times, evenings. It's a little bit of a part-time work from home thing. I love it and it brings me so much joy, but it requires a lot of creative energy. Along with being a mom requires a lot of creative energy. You're doing a lot of thinking on your feet. You're trying to figure out things to do. We have actually been having a snowstorm this week, so we have been stuck inside. And this was a great video to film because I needed to be reminded to do some of these things because it's just so easy to forget them. So I wrote them out and thought this might be a good video idea. It might be helpful to be reminded that if I do all of these things every day, I will feel good. I will not feel burnout. I will not feel overwhelmed. I will be able to manage our life. The first one is simple, but can be quite hard in the winter, which is to get sunlight and fresh air every morning. I don't know if you guys have seen every health podcast, every health guru, whatever, they pretty much all talk about this. There's definitely something to it. And when I do this consistently, I feel so much better. There are benefits to your sleep. It helps set your circadian rhythm. But I think the biggest thing is that it's so easy to go outside and take a deep breath. There's something about walking outside and breathing in fresh air that just naturally makes you take a deep breath. And I could use more of that in my day. Also, getting the sunlight in your eyes, it helps wake you up, maybe feel like you need a little less caffeine. It's just all around good. Okay, the next tip is to do something for your future self early in the day. And this can be really simple. My thing is unloading the dishwasher. For some reason, that is something that if I don't get that done early in the day, later me is stressed, overwhelmed when I have a pile of dishes from breakfast and lunch and maybe starting dinner. And then I realize the dishwasher is still full of clean dishes. I get this done before lunch. It is a requirement. It's a non-negotiable. It makes my day go so much better. And it really only takes a couple minutes. You're doing something that will help out your later self. Just one, it's like a way to show kindness to yourself. But two, it's a way to get ahead of things and not wait until the last minute. Habit number 3 is to get ready every day. I know, you hear this one from everyone, and I feel like this time of year, everyone's bringing it up, but I swear it makes a difference. I like the 2 out of 3 rule for most days, which is either hair or makeup or an outfit, 2 out of those 3 every day. And that makes a real difference. While it sounds maybe vain to think that I need to have my makeup done to feel good about myself, I think it's actually taking those 5 minutes to spend a little time with yourself, to have like that bookend of your day. Like for me, putting on my makeup at the beginning of the day, and then I do that again at the end of the day where I brush my teeth, I wash my face. And those 5 minutes at the beginning and the end of the day feel like a good time to like check in. I actually just hung my vision board in my bathroom, so I try to take a look at that and just give myself a couple minutes. Sometimes it's with my kid, crying on the floor or, unrolling the toilet paper or taking things out of the trash. But even in those moments, I still feel like it's worth it. I also think it's good for my kid to see that I prioritize myself and I don't just stay in my pajamas all day. Even if it's just going from pajamas to a pair of sweatpants, it still makes a difference. There's something about clean clothes in the morning that makes all the difference. Habit number 4 is to fill up your water with electrolytes in the morning. If you're not drinking electrolytes, I highly recommend you start. I swear they make such a big difference. I like the Element packets, but there are a million brands. Pick whatever you like. Find some that taste good. I feel like it helps me get started on drinking water. I like drinking them at the beginning of the day because they are a little salty. So I feel like it encourages me to drink more water the rest of the day. It also just gets me going. And I feel like water begets more water. Like the more water I drink, the more I want to drink and the better I feel. I have been historically bad about drinking water the last couple months. So this is one I am really prioritizing this. Okay, habit number 5 is have a hobby that's easy to pick up and put down. Now this sounds kind of funny, but especially if you have kids, but even if you don't, having a hobby that you can easily pick up and do a little bit and easily put down makes all the difference. My favorites for this are needle pointing and reading. Those are 2 things that I do every day for 3 minutes for very short periods of time. When I have a couple minutes, I pick up my needlepoint, do a couple stitches, or pick up my book and read a couple pages. The other reason this is so important is that it gets you off your phone. I think part of the appeal of social media is that you can do it in those 2-minute waits, or, you know, when you're just like waiting for something to toast in the oven, or you are waiting for, you know, your clothes to finish drying in the dryer. You just get on social media because it just takes a couple minutes. I am a big social media girl, don't get me wrong. I am definitely still scrolling, but a couple times a day, I try to pick up something other than that. Even if it's just the Kindle app on my phone, I find that there is so much value in doing something other than scrolling. I will link one of my favorite needlepoint companies down below if you're looking to get started in that. Okay, habit number 6 is to have a pre-prepped breakfast or lunch. I think a key to life is having one of those meals already handled, especially if you are eating at home most days, most meals. Having one of those, something that you can just reheat, makes all the difference. I love to make a breakfast casserole. I try to make this at least once a week. It normally lasts us like 3 or 4 days, so we're not having to make breakfast every day, and it is so convenient. Normally I just make one with eggs, cottage cheese, maybe some vegetables, cheese mixed in, and just bake that in the oven for like 40 minutes. But this week we made one that we actually had on Christmas morning. My sister made this and it's so delicious. You use crescent rolls and you use sausage. It's really tasty. Kind of made that as a New Year treat, but having something pre-prepped, even if it was like a thing of overnight oatmeal that you could just warm up or eat cold, or even if it's just having the fruit washed so that you can put it with yogurt or something like that, it makes all the difference to have something quick to eat for at least one of the meals a day. I also try to do leftovers for lunch most days. So we make a bigger portion for dinner so that we have it for leftovers the next day. And I have a couple favorite quick lunches like tuna. I'll make these cottage cheese pizza bowls. I will link that recipe down below. So there's other options that are just kind of quick and easy, but it is really nice to have something just kind of easy to pull out of the fridge and heat up. But number 7 is to make your to-do list the night before. So I like to do this the night before. Normally at the end of nap time, I will quickly scribble out a list of what I'm hoping to do for the next nap time. It makes all the difference to start your work whenever that is. Maybe that's in the morning, maybe that's in the afternoon like me with nap time, but to already know what you're planning to do. Sometimes I do this on Sunday and like kind of plan for the whole week, but sometimes things get a little mixed up depending on how long of nap time I have or if things come up. So I at least like to do this the night before and just jot down a couple things to get started on. It makes it so that I jump right into work. I don't spend a lot of time thinking, what should I do? What's the best use of my time? Oh, what about this email? I just know, let me get started with these things and then we'll go from there. Number 8 is to invest in some time-saving foods. I would love to say I cook every single little thing from scratch, but that's just not realistic right now. There are literally only 24 hours in the day and you can't do everything. So some of the things I buy to save on some time are bagged salad kits. This is one of the biggest ones we get every week. Makes a quick lunch, a quick dinner. I love the Taylor Farms Mediterranean salad. If you haven't tried it, it's so good. They sell them in a 2-pack at Costco and we get it almost every single week. I also like individual yogurts, chomp sticks, and I love to use frozen pre-chopped vegetables. There's a couple great options at Costco that we will just buy big bags of and we will just throw on a tray and roast. Sometimes chopping all your vegetables is just the time you do not have that day. And instead of foregoing the vegetable, I would rather have something quick and easy in the freezer that is not gonna go bad and something I can easily whip up for dinner and know that we have a good vegetable side. Habit number 9 is, if in doubt, add music or go outside. This one is great if you have kids especially, but honestly kind of perfect if you're just an adult that needs sometimes to relax and kind of bring yourself back to center. Try adding music. I feel like putting on a good playlist always makes such a big difference. I try to do this at dinner time when everyone's getting a little hangry. I do this in the morning when sometimes I need a little bit more pep in my step. Going outside, especially if it's nice weather, also makes such a difference. Even if you have 5 minutes to kill before you leave for something or you know, nap time or something, just going outside and sitting in the grass for a second, I swear makes all the difference. Habit number 10 is to have a designated place for everything. Now this one takes some time, this one takes some effort, but it makes such a big difference. If you are able to clean up your stuff every day by putting it in the place that it goes, even if it's taken out all day, whatever, and then you know that there's a specific spot that that goes, whether it's a measuring cup, whether it's a coffee mug, electronic cords, or puzzles, or books, if you have a spot that those things go and they fit, then cleaning up is no big deal. Obviously, it can be hard if people are taking things out, like children and stuff. But if it's not simple to put it back, that is often the biggest challenge. So my last video, I did a huge decluttering of my closet. My closet has stayed clean ever since because there is a spot for everything. I know where my headbands go back. I know where my sweatshirts are hung. I know where my shoes go. There is room for everything in that closet. The next place I really need to do this is our kitchen. I need to go through every single cabinet and take out what we are not using, make room for everything, make everything have a spot. If you guys want that in a video, let me know because I can make that. And lastly, habit 11. This is the one I am working on most this year. This is to know when it is good enough. This is when to know when the work you do, the cleaning you do, the meal you make is good enough. You can always make things better. You can always add to things. Especially if you're a creative person, it is easy to constantly think, well, what if I did this? Or what if I did this? Or what if I did this? And I find myself getting frustrated that I'm not able to do every idea I have. We all have limits. And one of the biggest ones is time. And sometimes you just have to say, you know what, that was good enough. So sometimes that means leaving my kitchen table covered in stuff and deciding that is a problem for tomorrow. If it's taken a long time to get her to bed and I'm exhausted and I need to just go lay on the couch for an hour to decompress before I go to bed and not spend my time cleaning up toys or cleaning up the kitchen or running another load of laundry, I need to know when to say, today was good enough. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope these tips were helpful. Let me know if you have any daily habits that are non-negotiables for you, what you're doing in 2025. I would love to hear all about it. Really appreciate you guys being here. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't, and I will be back with a new video next week. Bye.